Yes.
So, Terence, I mean, just to pick up on a couple of the topics that you mentioned, and with reference to digital regenesis and some of the courses that you guys are putting out there, and perhaps we could talk about this one very quickly, which I think brings together a couple of topics that we've been talking about. So, machine learning in Python, which is a very easy to learn language, as you mentioned. And then if I scroll down to the curriculum of this course, so after going through a bit of an introduction to machine learning, there's actually a whole section on statistics here. So as you were saying, statistics being the foundation of getting to grips with, these topics of machine learning and data science, etc. Perhaps we can make this course available to everybody on the webinar now. And certainly for Mania, maybe start by going through this course. You'll get, that intro and insights around machine learning. You'll get the basics of statistics. You'll even get an introduction into Python and see what Terence was talking about in terms of it being a high-level language and a very easy one to use, etc. And that will then maybe give you a bit more insights on which to make an informed decision, and an important decision about, adding on a significant amount of work that you might be considering. Where if you were to, go through an entire major of statistics, that would set you up to become an actuary potentially, but it might be much more than what you're looking for just to get to grips with data science as a field. So I think, you've got some good insights there from Terence, and I'll put a link to the course in the chat. Terence, just as I scroll down through this curriculum, is there anything else that you want to add about this course and maybe point out to people to take advantage of if they wanted to go in and have a look at it?
So the one of the things that I see is actually understanding what machine learning is, and I think that's actually quite an important point. It's an important concept to grasp. When we say machine learning, it's very much based on us teaching, right? It should actually be machine teaching rather than machine learning, in my opinion, because we are giving the computer a set of instructions that it needs to understand in completely. And we do this through simulations. So I think, machine learning and teaching, go very close together from, our understanding of how the brain works, right? Because machine learning is inspired by our brains. It's inspired by human thinking. And, even if you go into the machine learning, you'll start to hear about neural networks and artificial neural networks. Basically, we create a very simple brain that can teach the machine how to do it. And then after several iterations of this, the machine understands a basic of what it needs to do, and we store that as a code. If anybody's interested in some interesting machine learning, there is NLP, which is natural language processing. We don't really have it on. I don't think I've seen it on this, but it's a bit more advanced than what you'd cover in this topic anyway. And how marketing and marketing campaigns can be basically made by a computer, just because a computer has learned so much about marketing that you can just type in a few words about, for example, you have a product that you want to sell, so you just type in a bit about the product description, and the machine will actually generate the rest of the text. Then you just have to edit it and fix it up. But this is something that machine learning, they used Wikipedia. So they basically just told the machine to run through Wikipedia. I mean, it must have taken a long time, but just to learn. And this is moving towards something that we call semantic searches. I don't know if Peter, have you heard of semantic searches?
No, I haven't. Just the natural language processing and the different ways of doing that.
Okay, so actually Google, I think the Google search uses it. So when you search for something on Google, it doesn't just search in, the original way it would just send out crawlers. They call them crawlers. It's basically code to search for things, right? And then it brings back the first few entries that it sees that word in. But now we're moving towards a semantic web. Semantic meaning the meaning of what's happening. So actually, when you Google search something, it will look for the context rather than the words. which is also a machine learning thing. How would a machine understand context if it didn't learn it? So this is also another application of machine learning.
In this lesson, we're just going to